Hey everybody, sorry about the late video today. As most of you know, Twisted Thursday Mandela Madness has ended. The collaboration between myself and the lovely Amanda over at Obsessive Crochet Lady. However, I'm going to try and find some things to fill in the slot until I can come up with a more, uh, what's the words I'm looking for? It's been a day, guys. It's been a day. Um, a segment that I can do on a regular basis. Um, so I wanted to do this earlier, but we are having renovations on our master bathroom that's in our bedroom. So Brian is having to sleep during the day because he works thirds in the guest bedroom, which is right next door to my yarn room. So I can't come in here and record because I know I'll wake him up. I can't record in the rest of the house away from the spare bedroom because of all the noise from the power tools, all that stuff. And I thought about recording outside on the porch in the sun while we were getting some good vitamin D but the person doing the renovations is coming out a lot and letting me know things or getting tools and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait until everything calms down in the evening and Brian goes to work. So here we are. So why are we here today after all that? Um, a lot of you have been asking me because I've been talking about fair projects for me to enter. And I can't remember if I had let you guys know that I had the other day gone into town because I had to pick up some things and run by the library and had to print out a pattern while I was there because my laptop is still not talking to my printer. Anyhow, and you guys know I prefer the written. That way I can move about, do whatever. Well, while I was there, I noticed that the fair books came out, which I was not aware they were out yet. And these are the premium books that tell you like all of our classes, categories, all that. This is the adult side. For the rest of this book. The rest of this is like the kids for 4-H. But these start the adult categories for and tells you the class and then the lot numbers and what those entail, etc. Well, reading the inside information for fair this year and it talks about entry dates. Usually we are taking non-perishable entries in the Saturday before our fair starts that following Monday. And then perishables go in the Sunday, the day before. This year, they changed it, and I was not aware. It is this Saturday instead of next Saturday because our fair starts um, that following Monday, the 23rd. So I am down 1 week on what I can work on for stuff. So yeah, that was kind of a gut punch, but it is what it is. So a bunch of you were wanting to see prior things that I had entered. And here's the cover for our fair this year. It's got the cute little pig on there. I wish I would have been able, and we never know what the theme is going to be, which kind of stinks until, the last minute. I wish I would have had time to make Cottontail Whiskers, the pig pattern, because I have it. That would have been a great item to enter in, seeing as how the theme is Hog Wild this year. But oh well. So I pulled out the last 2 years, 23 and 24, and I figure I would show you, like some of you asked, what projects I had entered in the past, and if I won any ribbons on it, what they were. Now, some of the stuff I'll have to show you a picture because it's either been donated or it was gifted to someone, or in the case of like, I did, besides crochet, enter both years a handmade jewelry item. I don't know what I did with them. So I don't know if my granddaughter took the first one. I honestly, and I thought maybe they were in this bucket up here on my desk. No, they weren't in my jewelry box. I have no idea what I did with them. I know I brought them home. And you know what? I will find them when I am not looking for them anymore, which is usually the case. So in 2023, I entered a handmade jewelry item. I entered a crochet afghan. I entered a crochet item, any other, which means it's not a baby item, a doily, a hat, a scarf, an afghan, or a holiday item. So that means amigurumi, typically. I ordered a holiday item. I entered a holiday item, and I also entered a crocheted scarf, which was a cowl. I tried to figure out what I did with them. I may have gifted them because I entered a cowl in 2023 and 2024, and they were gorgeous. I don't. I think I gifted them. If I didn't, then they were put in a tote in storage um, to get them out of the way when I was doing some reorganization, and they just never got brought back out. So I will try and pull up a picture of the scarf cowl in 2023. It was that one right there. It's teal with a variegated like teals and purples, and you're probably not seeing that true to color. Sorry guys, but I didn't have it to show you. And I did indeed win a blue ribbon on it. The yarn was from ALC Yarns. Avery Lane or Nikki. She has an online shop, and sporadically throughout the year she does take on subscribers for a monthly subscription box. I used to have her subscription box for quite a while until my granddaughter came, and then finances got a little bit tight because a lot of you know how expensive it is to have a teenager in the house. So I stopped the subscription and I never picked it back up. I want to though, but yeah, that was the cowl. I thought it was pretty, and it goes with a lot of stuff, especially in the winter. And it had purple in the variegated. So I really, really I love her yarn. I have quite a bit. We'll have to get it out and go through it sometime. And then I also entered a crochet holiday item, and that one I did Easter, and it was my bunny Fufu right here. I love her. She is so pretty. And I don't remember the pattern that I used. I tweaked it quite a bit. Yeah, she's big. And I kind of did my own thing for the dress. And then I put these little sparkly bits on there, some flowers and a butterfly, and then I ran a ribbon through some of the double crochets all the way around, and then tied it in a bow, and then I sewed on some of those little rose appliques, and she got a blue ribbon. So, and I also made her a carrot to go with it. So that was my holiday item. I would have put her in amigurumi, but I had already made something for amigurumi. So let's set her out of the way. So that year was when I had been getting a lot of orders for my fairy goblins. And I entered her, and let's see, let's get that out of the way. And I think that's this one. So I entered her. Um, Although when we were in there looking at all of the displays, there was a couple little kids that kept trying to pull her magic wand out of her little hand. So I had told Brian, I thought by the time we were going to, oh, look, she's looking with her eye. I thought by the time I was to be able to go pick her up when the fair was over, because once the fair ends that Saturday night, the following Sunday is when we have to pick up all of our stuff. And I thought she most likely was not going to have a wand. But it was still there. I was actually surprised. And it wasn't broken. So I can't if she hello. But yes, she got um a blue ribbon. So that's 3 blues, my cow, my Easter bunny, and my fairy goblin. And then like I said, I had entered a piece of jewelry. It was a necklace with like some seashells, and it had these flowers carved out of shale, and it was in like a purplish blue iridescent from the shells. And I had earned a red ribbon on that one, and I wish I had it to show you. But I don't. I know I've made some others like that with white ones, the shale flowers with the shells, and I think some brown and maybe green or pink. I don't know. I'll have to dig them out one day because I have a whole basket in my bedroom of a bunch of jewelry that I made a long time ago for a craft fair, and whatever was left over that didn't sell is in that basket, and I've never done anything with it. At one point, I thought about pulling it all apart and just remaking stuff, um, maybe stitch markers or bracelets. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may just donate them somewhere. Who knows? And then there was one more entry, and um, I didn't know I was going to enter an Afghan in that category because I had been making blankets for hospice, and I didn't know if I was going to have enough time. And I had some of the Mandela ombre cakes. Whoops. And I think that might be the same color. It is. Um, I'm running out of room, guys. Let's see. It is the colorway a tranquil right here. I had a bunch of these, and I still have. I think it's 6. Um, and I just did because I had already been working on it. I did a simple, real quick granny square with it and turned it in because it was all the time that I had. However, I think this is the blanket. I may be wrong. I know I have one that I had in the spare bedroom when my granddaughter was here. Um, no, yes. It was there then, and I never moved it. And is that it? Yeah. Anyhow, there was some Binksy when we first got her because she was a bottle fed kitten. She used to do the and suck on things. Well, when she got a little bit bigger, she started chewing, and I wasn't aware. And so this has to be taken apart and redone, and the chewed on parts cut out and thrown away. So that'll get done at some point. It's going to be a redo. And if I want to make it bigger, I can, if I so choose, because I have 6 more of these. So, yeah, this was one of those. It is what it is. And it was only a granny square. Thank goodness it wasn't like some big, intricate, detailed uh, masterpiece or something. So that one only earned a red. So, and it's okay because I didn't put a lot of work or a lot of thought in it because I really didn't have time. So, but that year for those categories, I earned 5 ribbons. I earned 3 blue and 2 red. And I try and keep the category card with them because eventually I'm going to put them in a scrapbook. I have the scrapbook. I just haven't found the time. So there was that in 2023. Then in 2024, I entered, I had entered a photograph, and I don't know if I have it here in my desk. No, I do not. I thought I did. Nope, it's not up here. I thought I had put it up here. I had taken a real pretty picture of a hummingbird, and we had to put them in certain dimension white frame. And so I did that, and it did not place. So, wah, wah. And I did enter, we have another category that was photography. We also have a category for vintage jewelry. I have several vintage jewelry necklaces. I had entered one of them. It did not place. I don't think. I don't think so. Oh, come on. Nope, it did not. So, okay. We'll start with the baby category. I made, let me see. I should have got these in order. There's that. Oof. Well, where is it? Okay. There's that. That scarf. Holiday item. Afghan and baby. Okay. So the other handmade jewelry item for last year, I cannot find as well. I had made a pearl necklace, and I had, the string was pearls, and I had used some of the pearls and used thread to combine and knot them to make pearl roses and put them along the chain. It was really pretty, and I hope I can find it. But for that handmade jewelry, I got a blue, and I was really happy about that. So, and then for crochet, we'll start with the baby item, and I actually got a red ribbon on the baby item. I had made this little deer snuggler, and it already had a home before I ever started making it. It was a special request. So once everything from the fair was said and done, it got shipped off to go to North Carolina. So that was where that went to live. And then in the Afghan category, I had done a beehive Afghan, and it's actually honeycomb shaped. It's not square, it's not round. It goes like this. And I had appliqué a bee in the center. Um, and apparently the judges weren't a fan. um, Although I think it was better than the one that won, because she not only won the blue, but she also won Best in Show. And she actually did the blanket that I was going to do. And I made the mistake of taking it to a crochet and chat at our local coffee shop with my friend. And I messed it up somewhere so bad I couldn't figure out where I made the mistake. And I ended up ripping the whole thing out. It's in one of those 2024 whips we brought into 2025 in the Whip Walk of Shame that someday will get done. Yeah, it was the same blanket, just different yarn. So that received a red ribbon. And I never figured out, and I totally forgot to call this woman, why out of all of the entries, mine had this realtor's card taped to the back. And I totally forgot about calling her. So I don't know if she was wanting it. I have no idea. Um, I don't even know who she is. I have no idea. And then, um, next category was holiday item. And that one was actually donated at Christmas to hospice. And it was this sparkly little leggy snowman. And yes, I did win a blue for him. So he went bye-bye. He went to go live with somebody at hospice. He was so cute. But he had to go. He was meant to go live somewhere else. And then I did another cowl, and it was in another ALC Yarns, in I think it was called Sugar Rush, and it was in all these pastel colors. I know it's hard to see. Um, it was the pattern was kind of similar to the first one, but this one was actually Nikki's design, the one that dyed the yarn. So I think you can see it a little bit better there. It's got blues and purples and pinks and white and all that. So there was the ribbon for that. And then I did, it was the first year I crocheted a hat to enter. And it was a last minute decision. I think I've told you guys about it. The night before, I was like, I want to make a hat. And I stayed up pretty late. And when it was like 10 minutes before we had to leave to drive to the fairgrounds, I was weaving in the ends before we left for the fairgrounds. So it was the first time, and I had found a pattern online, and not knowing when I started it and I got like halfway through, the pattern was not complete. So I winged it and I embellished it and everything else, and I made it my own. And let me find it. This was my hat. right here. It's got a flower back here. Well, I think, no, that's supposed to be on the side. Right here. Cute little sun hat with the curly. It gives me kind of flapper vibes, and I'm messing up my hair so bad. Yeah. And there's the little flower that I did with some leaves. And it didn't even have, I told you I was going to mess up my hair. Oh no. It didn't even have this. Because I got to like here and the pattern ended. There was no more. So I was like, so yeah, this was what I did. I like it. The little, flower, I used a variegated cotton. This is, Lily Sugar and Cream, and, it's in, oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's got the, like, purple and maroon and light blue speckles in it. So I thought that the purple ribbon and this little flower would look super cute on it. So that was what I did, and I love it. It's so cute. Cute, cute, cute. And I got a blue ribbon. I was super proud of that for it being a last minute throw together thing, and I had no idea what I was doing because middle of summer I didn't want to do a winter hat and put in and now my bangs are all but oh well, I'll fix it later. And then any other category, which around here we do not have Ami Gurami. So anytime I make one that is not holiday or baby, has to go in any other. And so what I did was a unicorn. I just did her in gray, and then I used the Karen 1 pound in, I don't even think you could get it anymore. It was only out for like a smidgen of time, and it has like aqua, green, and purple, and then a lime green in it. And I just did the tail like that and her mane, and then I did her little horn in aqua, and then her little fancy little scarf. And she was another blue ribbon winner. Because y'all know every year I don't care if I enter anything else, I have to enter an Ami. So that was what I did. And that was last year's entries, minus the ones I don't know what happened to, or they've been gifted, donated, all that stuff. So in total, last year I won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ribbons. This year I am not going to have as many entries. We all know that I will be entering the Beast in the Afghan category. I decided I was going to go ahead and do her. And then, let me get to the page. I am working on a baby item right at the moment. Trying to see. Oh, wow, wait a minute. I don't know if you can see the necklace right there with the pearls. You might be able to. Maybe a little. Not very well because they're still in the baggie. But I'm currently working on the baby item. Not sure if I will have it done. If I do not, that's okay because I'm going to donate it to Christina over at Bella Uncinetto anyway for the program she's helping her friend on the base with over in Italy, where they're making the baby hampers, and they were asking if for, baby blankets, baby items, things like that were handmade. I'm going to go ahead and donate that, whether it's done or not. If it's done, I will enter it, and then once the fair's over, it will go get packaged up with the blankets. If not, once it's done, it will get packaged up with the blankets and it will be on its way. Um, Not doing a doily. Haven't done those since I was a teenager. Maybe next year. I'm going to try and get an early start this time. And of course, lot 3 for Afghan. We know I'm entering the beast. Holiday item, I'm conflicted because I actually, and I wanted to make, it was the Pelushka bunny, but then I found out that I had less time. I was a week short of what limit I thought I was going to have. I thought I had 2 weeks and then I had less than a week. But then I remembered I do have some things we just made for holiday items. I have I want a hippopotamus for Christmas that I could possibly enter. Um, I'm going to ask you guys your thoughts. So we have her, and then we have the elf that I also made. I'm really considering entering him. I think he's super cute. Um, my heart is almost decided on this one, but I want to know your guys' thoughts. And then I have this one that could be Halloween. However, my concern with entering this one is he is probably going to come back really dirty. And with him being white, and we know that white blanket yarn picks up so much. So I'm kind of saying no to my baby ghost here. I'm more leaning toward this little guy, Elfred. Um, I think he would be the best choice. But let me know what you guys think. So yeah, I'm pretty much almost positive I'm gonna go with Alfred. Um, and then um, that's the any other category, lot 7. Um, I started a scarf and I was probably 9/10 of the way through it, and I was doing it exactly as the pattern states. I don't like it. Um, I scrapped the whole thing. It doesn't look right when you're trying to put it on, even though I was going right to the specifications and everything. You would, yeah, I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken. So I scrapped the whole thing and I am not going to be able to do a scarf because I don't have enough time through Saturday. That was why I started the baby item because I was frustrated. And no, it was not Connie's scarf from Just Another Stitch. I had a problem trying to get that to print. I don't know if their printer was erroring, but when I went down, I needed to print 3 things and I could only get one thing to print. And they were looking into their printer and I didn't have enough time to even mess with it. And I have not had a chance to go back because we're under renovation here. Um, so the only other category is hats. And I already did my hat. I did something a little different this year. Although I ended up, now that I realize it, I ended up, oh no, I did have one more category for the any other. We are going to enter Piper as my Ami right there. So she's going to be going. I just have to secure her babies so that they don't walk off. Because I don't want her to come home babyless. Even though the little possums are not that hard to make, but I just don't want to have to do it after I put in all that work. But my hat is the bow hat, and I think I left the pattern out in the living room. I will have to show you guys at a later date, but it's kind of like the hat that I made, kind of. But it was really plain except for the bow on the back, which is part of the hat. And you make this little thing to cinch it up in the center. And that one side looks smaller, but it's not. I went ahead and just did a double stranded braid for this little detail around where the brim starts. And then I went around and I sewed it on. But this is my bow hat. And I think it is super cute. And so I've got her sitting on the head already so that she doesn't get messed up. And I don't know why it wants to droop so bad, but I probably need to work with it before Saturday to get it like just right. But yeah, that is, and it does look smaller, but it's not. Maybe it's the angle of the camera. I don't know. I'm going to have to mess with it and I think it's just the way it's folded. But yeah, here we are, the bow hat, and I think it's super darling. Cute sun hat. Yep, she's gonna wear a cockeyed. But yeah, so seeing how it looks better on the styrofoam head, I went ahead and got the styrofoam head and put her on there, and I think I just need to press these seams down a little better. But yeah, when you're sewing it, you start at the top and you go down, but then you make a chain and it's this big piece that comes out and then you fold it up and then you put the little like knot thing in the center. So, and I used that purple because I think it ties in. Yes, I realized after I did it that it's the same yarn. I'm a creature of habit, apparently. But I like how these work up in sun hats, especially this one. And then you can add one of the little pieces of color. I almost did it in the aqua or the coral because I have the cones for those. But then I was like, no, I want to do this one because it's got purple. And then it dawned on me afterwards that that's what I did last year was the same colors. But that's okay. And this one doesn't have a flower. So yeah, that is that category. So I have the hat, I have Piper, I have the holiday item, I have the Afghan, and I'm working on the baby item. And if it gets done, I will have 5 entries this year. I will not have time to do any handmade jewelry, I don't believe. Mainly because a lot of my extra jewelry stuff is in storage. And I don't want to have Brian dig it out. So I'm just gonna, we've had too much going on for me to even worry about it this year. I will do some more focus on it for next year's. I'm gonna get an earlier start. That's a promise I've made to myself. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? Would you do Alfred? Oops, baby ghost is making a getaway. Would you do Alfred or would you do the Christmas hippopotamus? I'm leaning more toward him, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I do Alfred or should I do her? I don't even remember what we named her. Uncle Lyndon, what did we name her? Because you were the one who picked her name. I will have to try and figure that out in case he doesn't remember. I know it's somewhere. So anyhow, I guess that's that. This has been a pretty long rambling video for a fair project catch-up blast from the past for the last 2 years. and a little bit of look-see to see what we're entering this year. So, with that, I guess I'm gonna let you guys go. This video's been pretty long. Didn't mean for it to be this long. And I guess I will talk to y'all soon. And you're coming upon the weekend, so I hope you have a great weekend. I myself am hoping the renovation in the master bathroom will be done tomorrow or Saturday. And then I will be getting the house ready for my uncle to come down on vacation. And I'm super excited. Um, yeah, I haven't seen him since last year. So we're overdue for a visit. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. And don't forget to comment in the description box. Do you think I should do Alfred or the Christmas hippo? And I'm going to leave you with these parting words. Life is not perfect, so be kind. Try and create something new every day and keep reaching for the stars in your yarn. So till next time, guys. Love you bunches. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.